Hey everybody, welcome back to How I Do It. Today I'm going to show you how I made a water sprayer bar or a mister for my daughters to play in the hot summer sun. To find a list of materials that you will need to complete this project, please see the description below. First thing I did was took a 10-foot piece of 1/2-inch Schedule 40 PVC and cut it down to 1-foot sections. I cut 4 1-foot sections. These will later act as the stabilizers to keep the sprayer facing upright while people are running over it. Here you see me cutting them down using a PVC cutter. If you don't have a PVC cutter, you can use a handsaw, hacksaw, sawzall, anything. I'll cut these pieces down using the first one as the reference for the rest of them to make them all roughly equal length. It doesn't have to be exact. Then the next thing I'm going to do is start to prime and glue the 2 of the legs into a cross connection. The reason you want to use primer on this is because we will be pressurizing the pipe. If it was not pressurized, you could get away with no primer, but in this case you definitely want to use primer. The glue I'm using is a blue glue. It is a fast drying glue that's used a lot of times in pools and other things like that where the piping cannot be shut off for long. In half an hour it's ready to go up to like 70 psi in pressure. So here you see I'm gluing the 2 1-foot sections into the cross piece. I'm twisting the pipe. This removes the air bubbles to make sure you have a good, solid, tight connection. Next, I'm preparing the female adapter. I have to cut a short piece to go into the 4-way and then into the female adapter to connect the 2 of them. This piece should be roughly about 1.5 to 2 inches long. While you're watching this part of the video, I'd like to take a moment to remind you that I do have a Patreon. If you like the videos that you're seeing here and would like to see more, please consider a donation on Patreon. It does help to fund these projects. 100% of my Patreon donations goes towards videos and towards the projects that you'll see here on these videos. So if you do like the videos, please consider becoming a patron. There are benefits to being a patron, such as early video releases, early releases to some of my 3D models, and some behind the scenes updates from me as well as things go along. Now back to the video. Here I'm shoving that 4-way onto one of the ends of the 1/2-inch PVC pipe, the long 6 feet that is left of that pipe. Here I'm also gluing the caps on the stabilizers on the end for the garden hose connection. I chose to use a garden hose connection because it's readily available. You can basically place it anywhere and yet easily disconnect it. If I was going to do things differently, I would use a swivel connection, as you'll see here in the video that I used a solid hose adapter, which means you have to actually twist the hose to get it on. And here I am screwing that brass. This is a 1/2-inch thread by 3/4 inch garden hose connection. Now I'm working on the opposite end of the pipe. I chose to use a 4-way here. You could also use a 1/2-inch T if you don't plan to leave room to be able to continue the pipe on further. As you'll see, I'm gluing in a short piece there. I'm going to put a cap on it, and that gives me room that if I choose to, I could cut that off and extend this even further, or put a 90 on or something to that extent. And here I'm gluing in the stabilizers, these 1 foot sections that I cut at the beginning of the video, onto the opposite end of it. And that's pretty much it for the structure. Now here you see me using micro jeweler's drill bits. These are a must for creating very small jets. As you can see here, it creates a very small jet, and there's some air blowing out as I turn the water on, and then there it goes to a solid stream. That's what you'll get from this. It would be more preferable to have that mist that I had at the beginning there when the air was in the system, but doing it with this method, you only will get streams of water, which will not suffice for keeping someone cool without making them wet. This will get you wet pretty quickly. So here you can see my daughters were anxious to play with it, so I only have the one jet in, and I'm going down through using this jeweler's drill bit to drill very small holes, and these holes are 0.4 millimeter holes. They're very tiny. These are actually the drill bits I use on my 3D printer for clearing nozzles of jams. They are designed to be used by hand. You could get away with very, very small drill bits as well. The smaller the better. It's going to give you a better stream, give you more even streams of water the whole length of the pipe. If you go too big, you'll get big streams at the beginning and smaller as it goes down the pipe. Here's my daughters are enjoying playing with it as I add more. And I separated my streams 1 foot from each other. And you could do this in any way, any distance that you feel fit. I have city water pressure, so I can get away with a lot of holes. My water pressure can range anywhere from about 40 psi to 70 psi on any given day, and sometimes higher. So the small jets, the whole length of the pipe, I could get away with a lot of them. I could actually do quite a few more without impeding the amount of water coming out of this thing. Here you see the final product. I did end up adding jets on the stabilizer bars, the 1 foot section sticking out the sides, aiming on a 45 as opposed to straight up and down, which now creates not only a vertical spray but a crisscross. Here you can see my daughter Dixie testing out the sprayer, and as you can see, this thing puts out a huge amount of water. She was soaked within a few minutes of playing with this thing and is totally thrilled with it. If you guys like this video and you want to see more, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see other videos from the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified of uploads, hit the bell. And don't forget, I'm on Patreon as well, and all your support is appreciated. I'm Matt, and this is how I do it.